Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto the stage Jen Brister! Okay, thank you. I feel like I'm in America. It's absolutely incredible. That is like, are you sure you're British? That was intense, wasn't it? That was very, very intense. Thank you for coming to see my show, Meaningless. I started writing it basically because my mum is living with me. Yes, my dogmatic, confrontational, angry Spanish mum. She was living in the suburbs of London and she decided to move in Brighton, but she wasn't sure where to live. So she said, Jennifer, I will stay with you for a short time. Okay? Not for very long, Jennifer, not for very long. I will blend into the background. You will not even know I am there. Jennifer, I will help with the children. Maybe we can spend time together, Jennifer. Maybe we can be friends. 11 long months. And let me tell you, it's very interesting. When I used to tell people that my mum was living with me, I'd get a very different response from men than I get from women. Yeah? When I tell blokes that my mum was living with me, the response was nearly always like this. Oh. That is lovely. Because I love my mum. When I tell women, the response was more like this. Fuck me, mate, I'd kill myself. How are you going to survive that? You're never going to survive that, mate. You're going to have to drink till you're dead. You'll never get out alive. Just in case there's any men in the room here slightly confused, you don't know what I'm talking about, you think, I don't know what this beige leather's banging on about. Just to say that you have a different relationship with your mum to the one that we do. Now, I realise I'm making a generalisation, I understand that, but I think on the whole that this holds up, that mothers and sons, very different to mothers and daughters. Yeah? If I was to encapsulate that relationship, mothers and sons, it would be like this. Mummy loves you very much. No, darling, you don't do anything, okay, because Mummy will do it for you. Mummy thinks you're very special. You just go out and you achieve and you do whatever you want because Mummy believes in you. Now, kisses for my very special boy. Mothers and daughters is a bit more like this. You look fat in that. Just saying there's a bit more judgement there, that's all I'm saying. And I've got children now, I've got twins and they're 4 years of age. And they think I'm amazing, they think I'm absolutely brilliant. Because they're 4. And they haven't figured out I'm a complete bellend yet. And they're in that first stage of their relationship with me, the first stage of what we understand to be the 3 natural stages of your relationship with your mum. We all know about these, don't we? Let's just go through them together, okay? So they're in the first stage when you're a child, and you look at your mum and you think, Mum, you're amazing. I adore you. I believe everything that you say because you, Mum, are like a god to me, yeah? And then you hit the second stage, maybe when you hit adolescence or your 20s, if you're a bit slow, and you find yourself looking at Mum thinking, hang on a second, Mum, I'm going to question some of the things that you're saying to me. And then you hit your 30s, or like me, your 40s, where you can be a bit more objective, can't you? Take a step back and you find yourself looking at your mum, thinking, you're fucking mental. Is she mental? No, she's probably not. She's probably the same mum she was when I was 3, except she's in her 70s now. Hashtag living her best life. And if she wants to spend an hour and a half talking about courgettes, well, she bloody well will. I love my mum, and she loves me, but the fact of the matter is we have an acrimonious relationship. We don't get on. And I think that makes my mum sad. I know that because she tells me. Jennifer, why can't we be friends? It makes me so sad, Jennifer. I don't understand why we can't be friends. Why, Jennifer? Why? Why can't we be friends? I look at mothers and daughters out together and I see them and I think they are fancy Jennifer. And then I look at us and I think, why Jennifer? Why? Can't we be friends? And I feel like saying to my mum, look, mum, the reason why we can't be friends is because you didn't let me go to the cinema on my own when I was 15, but you let my brothers go to the pub when they were 14. That's why we can't be friends. Don't hold on to that shit because it will eat you up. I barely think about it anymore. It's literally, it's water off a duck's back. But I'll be honest with you, I am always very suspicious of women that say that their mum is their best friend. My mum is my best friend. We just don't have any secrets. We tell each other everything, don't we, Mum? We love spending time together. We're going to Paris, actually. Because we love the Louvre, don't we, Mum? Because we're very creative. We love doing creative things together. We've actually just started a course, haven't we, Mum? What was that course called? Was it decoupage? Yeah, we've just started a decoupage. What the fucking hell is wrong with you? Leave your house! Find a friend! Do you know what a friend is? It's someone you go to moan about your mother, you freak! Now I'm a mother, albeit the other mother, because that's how it works with leses. So just to explain my situation, I am the non-biological mum, and my girlfriend is the biological mum, okay? And that is how we refer to each other at home. Like we're boxes of detergent. She's Purcell, I'm Daz. That's just how we do it. You know what? I don't want to mollycoddle my sons. I don't want to do that. I want to bring up my sons as I would a daughter, okay? With a huge amount of love, but also an incredible amount of judgment and passive aggression. As I project all of my fulfilled and unfulfilled dreams onto them and watch as they disappoint me over and over again. Of course, we love our daughters, don't we? As women, as a society, as a mother. As a mother! As a mother, everything I say carries more weight. But we adore our sons, absolutely adore our sons. And I don't think I realised this as a phenomena until my girlfriend got pregnant. And any woman in the room here tonight that has ever been pregnant will know that as soon as you're pregnant, you become public property. People think that they can just stop you in the street, touch your bump, ask you intrusive questions. People used to do that all the time, stop my partner and go, do you know what you're having? Do you know what's happening inside there? Do you know what you're having? What's happening? Do you know what you're having? Do you know what I'm assuming a baby, you freak. What do you think was in there? Every time somebody would ask that question, my instinct was to tell them to fuck off. But fortunately, for us, my girlfriend is a normal human that can handle chit-chat. And on one occasion, I can remember the woman asked this question, you know what you're having? And my girlfriend responded as she always did. Well, she said, we're having twin boys. And I do believe that this woman's response was disproportionate to the answer that my girlfriend gave her. She was like, oh my God, are you having twin boys? That is incredible! Oh my God, I'm so happy for you! That is what you want boys! Oh my God, that is the dream team too! Oh my God, congratulations! That is amazing. I've got children, do you know what? I've got one of each. Oh my goodness me, my daughter is a fucking nightmare if I'm honest. You know what girls are like? They're so manipulative, you never know what they're thinking. But my son, oh my God, I adore him. He's so simple. He's always giving me cuddles. Oh, boys are the best. You're so lucky having boys. Do you know why? Because boys are better. I see it in your face. A woman said that to me. Another woman. In front of another woman. I know you feel it. I know. A woman said boys are better. To me. Another woman. In front of another woman. and her daughter. Do you know what I felt like saying to her? I felt like saying to her, look, sweetheart, do you see these two unborn boys in here? Well, they're already a disappointment to me, yeah? Because I wanted a daughter. Have a look at the haircut, love. That should be an indication as to how much I give a shit about boys. I didn't say that. I said it was lovely to meet you and good luck with your loft conversion. I'll be honest with you, before my children were born, I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about them, because obviously there's no biological imperative, and I'm not going to lie to you, I was slightly worried that they, what if they turned up and I didn't like them? That's the thing, isn't it? You think, I don't want these two, stuff them back in. We get another two? I tell you, a bigger neurosis, if I'm being absolutely honest, is what if they didn't like me? I was really worried about that. Lots of people don't. Yeah. Panic not, ladies and gentlemen, because as it turns out, I love my children, and in many ways, they are literally the best thing that has ever happened to me. Yeah. And in other ways, they've ruined my life. So. I'll tell you why, because it's a big responsibility being a parent. And my girlfriend and I, we take this very seriously. And we want our boys, they're boys now, but we want them to grow up to be happy, kind, compassionate, empathetic men who don't sit in judgment of anyone, irrespective of their race, their religion, their sexuality, their gender, their disability. That's what we want. That is what we want. But we can't even get them to eat broccoli, so I don't think we're up to the job. Do you know what I mean? And it's hard to be the best person you want to be, let alone the best parent, when you're sleep deprived. And let me tell you, my children didn't sleep for nearly 3 years. If you can imagine that kind of sleep deprivation. And when you're in that sleep deprivation, you self-medicate. Of course you do. Every parent does. We did it. We self-medicate. You get to 7 o'clock, you've got to have something to look forward to. That's what we did. We got on it. Of course we did. To soften the edges of the day. The days are never ending. They're not like your days, like 12, 14 hours. They're like 22-hour days. You're like, got to have something to look forward to. As soon as the kids are in bed, we got on it. Of course we did. My girlfriend and I were like looking forward to it. Sometimes it'd be 7 o'clock in the morning. I think 12 hours before I go, You know what I mean? 12 hours before I go, I loved it. That's all I could think about was, This is wine, by the way, not cock. I just want to make that clear. I'll be honest with you, I don't think that would have improved my day. Why is there a dick in my mouth? This day just got a hell of a lot worse. Hey, listen, that's why the country's in the state that it's in, is because of people like me. Just wandering around, sleep deprived or pissed, just going, I hope someone else is dealing with global warming, because I'm fucked. I don't know how I'm going to explain this to my children. Do you know what I mean? How am I going to explain things like the demise of the NHS and global warming? How am I going to explain why I didn't step up to the mark when I had an opportunity? I know that at some point, my children are going to have questions, and we're going to end up having conversations like this. Mama, I broke my wrist, and I tried to get into hospital, but they wouldn't let me in because my credit rating was too low. And then I nearly drowned because of that bloody polar ice cap that's melted. It's been a horror show from start to finish. I'm so sorry, but why are you so camp? That's because I'm the little one of the two, and I love getting dressed up as a ladybird. So you and Mum have decided that I'm probably gay. In fact, I think you're hoping that I'm going to be gay. Yeah, we are hoping you're going to be gay. Because if you're gay, it means that you'll never love another woman as much as you love your two mummies.
Sorry to interrupt the loving mother. What about fucking global warming, eh? What did you do anything about that? We had a fucking chance!
Why do you sound like Ray Winston?
It's because I'm the bigger one of the two and I like playing with trucks. Just why you've given me this stereotypical voice. It shows how little you know about men. We're just as complex as women. The same emotional needs, desires and feelings. Oh, why
Mind your necking, snowflake! Oh, God, if you want to know where we're in the situation, let me explain it to both of you. Maybe if you'd slept for more than 2 hours at a time and eaten your broccoli, we wouldn't be here, right? And, by the way, by the time you were sleeping, my mum moved in and bloody well ruined it. So shut your face, get back in your canoe and sod off back to school. I don't know about the rest of you, but I always used to think that as you got older, you got wiser. Did you used to think that? When I was a kid and growing up, I used to think, naturally, with age comes wisdom. I did think that. And there might be a smattering of youth here in the room tonight, and you might be thinking that. You might think, yes, of course, as you get older, of course you get wiser. You might see people out and about in Soho with their grey hair and go, look at them. They are old. And they are grey. But they are wise. And they carry their wisdom in their grey, grey, grey hair. These old, wizened, aged, wise people. And then Brexit happened and we thought, fuck those cunts. The truth is, you don't get wiser as you get older. The truth is, if you're a prick in your 20s, you're just a bigger prick in your 40s, yeah? I was angry in my 20s. I am fucking living now! It's hard not to be angry, though, don't you think, with the state of the world? I mean, look at the state of the planet right now. How can we not all be angry? Things that even the media don't even communicate with us, like the famine in Yemen. We've got the war in Syria and the ensuing refugee crisis, the rise of the alt-right, we've got Trump in power, we've got Brexit, we've got austerity, global warming, we've got the Tories who managed to stay in power no matter what fucking batshit mental thing they do. We've got what feels like Armageddon could happen at any given moment, and on top of that, Gwyneth Paltrow will not shut the fuck up! Shut up, Gwyneth! Honestly, what is the point of that woman apart from to sit in judgment of all women? The stuff that comes out of her mouth, I'm like, what are you banging on about? I would rather die than give my children a cup of soup. I just cannot imagine a fate worse for my children than for them to drink a cup of soup. I would rather die. I would rather die. I would rather die. Do you know what, Gwyn? I think we can crowdfund that for you, love. I'll stick a couple of quid in. Let's get this show on the road, all right? Honestly, I mean, there's no one that judges a woman harsher than another woman, and you're never going to see that better illustrated than as soon as you become a mother, yeah? Oh my God, we don't give women any slack at all. Men, dads, they're giving all the slack in the world. I actually hear other mums say this kind of stuff to me. Don't you think it's absolutely wonderful when you see a father out with his children? I think it's absolutely marvellous, don't you? I think it really warms the cockles just to see a dad with his kids. I just think that's such a wonderful thing to see. Just a father out with his children. Just when I see them together, I just think, oh gosh, that really is lovely. Just to see a dad with his children. I mean, isn't that the bare minimum requirement as a parent? To stand next to your children? Mums aren't given the same slack, are they? No, they are not. I've got a friend of mine, she doesn't even have children, and she had the gall to say this to me. Jen, don't you think it's really terrible when you see mums out with their kids, but they're not even looking at their kids? They're looking at their phones. I just think that's terrible, Jen. I just can't believe people do that sort of thing. Do you know what? If I had a kid, I would have it literally Velcro to my face. So I could look at my imaginary child all day, every day. I'm like, of course you don't have children, because if you had children, you would never say anything so bloody stupid. I feel like saying to my mate, take him out, these two, take him out. Take him out for a couple of hours. Off you go. No, in fact, take him out for a day. And after a 3-hour conversation of the office politics of Paw Patrol, see if you don't want to have a sneaky look at Facebook. All right, love? Here's some advice. Anyone thinking of giving a mum advice? Don't. Back home in Brighton, where my mum is currently living in my house, I've got a veritable tapas bar of advice waiting for me there. Started from the second my children were born. Jennifer, you must tell Chloe, okay, that if, that she does not need to breastfeed after 6 months, okay? Yeah? Now, at the moment, I see these women, they are breastfeeding forever, ever. Breastfeeding. Jennifer, tell her, if they can walk towards it, they cannot have it. Chloe to breastfeed for as long as she wants to, because it makes it easier for me. It means I don't have to faff around with bottles. Bottles? Bottles, Jennifer? I did not have bottles, okay? You went from the boob to a cup. I was drinking from a cup at 6 months, was I? You were very advanced. My mum thinks I was drinking from a cup at 6. I don't know if you've seen any 6-month-old babies. Have you met any 6-month-old babies? But I'll be honest with you, most of them don't even know what their hands are for. Apparently not me. Oh, mother, this shrubbery is to die for. And I look at my brothers and their relationship with my mum. It's very different to the one that I have. Yeah, it's very different to the one. I'll be honest with you. I think I'm quite jealous of it. I'm quite envious of their relationship, because it's much more relaxed. I'll give you an example. My brother went to take my mum out for lunch recently in Brighton. He was like, "Just taking mum out, Jen." Yeah, God, we just love spending time together. We just love. Everything's just really chilled out and relaxed. It's just really free flow. We just have a really free flow time with mum. Because we just love spending time together. Because we're just a really cool free flow. Just mum and I just really get on. I don't know what to tell you. We just love spending time together. We're just really free flow. It's just like, I think we're best friends. Oh, fuck off. Of course, he has a free flow time with my mum, because when they were growing up, my mum let them be, let him be, not me. When I was growing up, she was there. She was always just there. Whatever I was doing, she was sitting just there, just judging every little thing that I do. And now, my mum is living in my house. And so I judge her. Oh yeah, I judge her. I think I've got that thing, ungrateful-itis, where I've completely forgotten every good thing that my mother has ever done for me. I'm only doing stand-up comedy because of my mum. I'll be honest with you, I've been doing this for years in the wilderness, where there was absolutely no sign that was ever going to make a success out of it, let alone earn a living. And there were times I phoned up my mum going, "I can't handle this, Mum. I just cannot take this job any longer. It's actually it's draining me. I can't do it." My mum would be like, "No, Jennifer, you keep going. You keep going. You keep doing this stand-up comedy, Jennifer, because I believe in you. You can achieve this, you do this, you go for it, Jennifer. You know why? Because you are funny. You are funny, Jennifer. You want to know why? It's your face. You have a funny face. Sometimes I look at your face and I laugh. Stand-up comedy is an incredibly competitive career to be getting involved in, by the way. Incredibly competitive. But still pales into insignificance with the competition of being a mother. I'll give you an example. I told you how my children didn't sleep for nearly 3 years. Well, God forbid I should say that out loud in front of a room full of mums, because there's always one mum doing it better than you. Oh yeah, and she can't keep that shit to herself. Oh no, she's got to let you know about it. Oh yeah. Oh dear, I'm so sorry to hear your children aren't sleeping. Poor you. Noah here. He's slept through since birth. And I think it's something to do with the energy you give your children. I really believe that. I really believe if you give your children positive energy, they really feed off that energy and they internalise that energy, and then they take that energy. This is the kind of woman that has a piece of a daughter's placenta around her neck, yeah? She makes her own almond milk, yeah. I'm like saying, "Oh, jog on, love! Do you want to know why your kid is sleeping? I'll tell you why. It's because you've bored him to death with your tedious Kirsty Allsop worshipping bullshit." We didn't buy a cot. We just made one from buttons. There's no getting away from it. I'm an angry woman. There's no getting away from that. I'm an angry lesbot. That's the truth of it. But I just don't understand how, as a woman, you can't be angry. I don't understand how women aren't angry all of the bloody time. The shit we have to put up with. I'm actually surprised that we're not raging. I'm genuinely surprised that we don't just see women walking down the street just randomly punching men in the face. Because I felt like it. punished for. Stuff that we're punished for, that we, by the way, cannot control. Yeah? Here's an example. Staying alive. Oh, nobody likes that, do they? Nobody likes women getting older. Old ladies! Old ladies! And about looking old, it's a disgrace. With your grey hair and your grey faces, you should have the decency to look 32. You're fucking Men don't have to worry about that, do they? No, men have got the greatest privilege of all. They can get craggy, old, hairy, fat. It doesn't matter, does it? Because your wives, your girlfriends, they look at you and go, look at him. That grey hair is like a silver fox. God, he's so bloody rugged. It's just a sex pot. Look at that. I love his paunch. Oh, he hasn't seen his dick since 1983. Oh. We don't share that privilege, do we, as women? What are we told when we hit middle age, as I have? We are told that we become invisible to men. Did you know about this? As women, we become invisible to men. Are you aware of this? Invisible to men. A boo, a fucking who. I don't know about the rest of you, but I've been dreaming of that since I was 14. I think being invisible to men is wasted. It's wasted on middle-aged women. It should be a superpower for teenage girls, shouldn't it? Just trying to get on with their day without being sexually harassed or assaulted by some creepy bloke. Do you know what? I think it should be available on the NHS. Okay, darling, just to tell you, we've just injected you with the essence of a 45-year-old line manager from Basingstoke called Pam. You should be completely invisible to men for 2 weeks, so good luck with your A-levels! This is how women are valued, aren't we? This is how we are valued by how beautiful we are, how young we are, how slim we look, how fertile we are. Well, fuck all that superficial shit. And by the way, we've got bigger fish to fry, not least our hormones. Oh my God, I've been clinging on to my youth like it's just like some desperate fool. But don't worry, a trip to the GP has set me straight, okay? I recently found out, it was actually a year ago, I found out that I am in fact perimenopausal. Some of you are thinking, I think I've had that at Nando's a couple of times. No, you haven't. You absolutely have. You don't want it, if I'm honest. You don't want it. Now, I know that talking about this sort of thing, it can make men feel a bit uncomfortable. It can alienate you. Couldn't give a fuck. No. Listen, I know that some of the men in the room here are thinking, look, I don't even know what this bloody perimenopause is. I don't even know what it is. Panic not, lads, okay? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I would say that 80% of the women in the room right now don't know what it is either. Because the menopause is like Fight Club, yeah? Even women going through it don't talk about it. And you know what the first rule of Menopause Club is, don't you? Open the window, mate. Is it me or is it bloody boiling in here? What the fuck's going on? If you don't know what the perimenopause is, I'll tell you. I'll let you know. It's basically the bit before the menopause, and it can last, a few years, 5 years, 10, even up to 15 years. And it's basically when a woman's estrogen levels begin to drop as she heads towards the menopause, and her periods are fuck off. That sounds good, doesn't it? Bye-bye. I'll see you later, and don't come back. But seriously, if you are going to go, why do you have to be such a prick about leaving? Do you know what I mean? Could you not just go? All the side effects of the menopause? Yeah? All the side effects you don't know because no one tells you about them. Hot flushes, that's one of them. Hot flushes. Before I started having them, I thought, they sound nice. A little bit of heat, thank you very much. Yes, please. No. You feel like you're being microwaved. There's other symptoms that you're not aware of because women aren't talking about this with each other. So when it happens to you, you think, am I the only one? Why is this happening to me? I don't even know what's going on. Is this happening to me? What is happening to me? Vaginal dryness, sir. There we go. Honestly, you're mixing up lube like it's wallpaper paste. It's a nightmare. And of course, you're not in control of your feelings. If you can imagine that, you're not in control of your feelings. Like, You know, day to day, minute to minute, hour to hour, you know. I know there's women in the room here going, yeah, we know what that is, Jen, it's called PMT. Forget PMT, mate. Forget PMT, because it's nothing like PMT, okay? It is PMT on crack, mate. Yeah? Because you feel fucking batshit, yeah? You feel moody. You feel moody. You feel so fucking moody. You feel absolutely moody. You feel moody. You feel moody. You feel moody 95% of the fucking time. Do you remember that woman that put a cat in a bin and no one could figure out why? Do you remember that? As a nation, we were like, why has she put a cat in a bin? How cruel! I mean, what is her problem? Well, let me tell you, I totally get it now. Why, is that cat looking at me? What, is that cat giving me the side? Right, come, you're going in the bin, mate. Look at me like that, you bellend. Ever since I've been going through the perimenopause, I'm Googling, I'm researching the menopause, I'm trying to find out as much information as I can, but all the information, it seems to, be conflicting. There doesn't seem to be any sort of linear approach to how we deal with the menopause, And frankly, it's like Chandler's job in Friends. No one seems to know anything about it. And I don't understand how I've got to this age, the age of 44, and I don't know anything about the menopause. How is that? How is it that no one's told me about it? How are we not talking about it? And I don't understand, as women, if we're not talking about it with each other, how do we expect science or society to take it seriously, I mean, knowledge is power. And as I'm heading towards the menopause, I'm not going to lie to you, I feel pretty bloody powerless, And by the way, what I'd like to say to the women in the room here, over the age of 40, you're not invisible. You're not invisible. I can see you. I can see you. I tell you what we are about this, around the subject of the menopause. You're not invisible. We are inaudible. Yeah? And if the Me Too movement has taught us anything, it's this, is that if we kick up a stink, we can really change things. And as the media kept telling us, the Me Too movement only affected some women. Oh yeah, right. Well, guess what? The menopause will affect every single cisgender woman in the room here tonight. Every single one of you. And even Google doesn't know anything about it. Yeah. Do you know how Google auto-completes? You know how Google goes, I think I know what you're trying to say here. I'm feeling lucky. Yeah? Well, I typed in, why has there been no research done into the meno... Google was like, I got nothing. I thought, I'll help you out, Google. I put menopause. Google's like, still, what are you trying to say here? I was like, it's okay. I put menopause, no E. Google was like, seriously, dude, what is this? It was only when I typed out the whole word menopause that Google went, oh, that. No one cares about that. Do you want to know what came up before the menopause? Memorable emojis. That is genuinely what Google thought I was trying to ask. Why has there been no research done into memorable emojis? This is a question that needs answering. And I know there'll be women, young women, in the room here tonight going, oh my God, this bloody menopause sounds horrific. I know how you people speak. Panic not. Every single woman's experience is different. And guess what? Some women will have no symptoms. Literally none at all. They will glide through the menopause. With literally no symptoms and arrive like, I think my periods have stopped. How wonderful. The rest of you, it's going to be a bloody shit show. Now, if you're unsure as to what your experience might be, you've got to look to your mum. Go to your mum. Speak to your mum. If your mum is around, ask her. You go to your mum. Yeah? I look to my mum, so I know I am going to be Miriam Margolyes on mushrooms mental. Yeah? I know that. And I'm going to be fucking batshit. I know. But a cursory Google search about the treatment of the menopause, and I was like, I think I might swerve it. It doesn't sound great. Some of the side effects are cancer. I said to my girlfriend, do you know what? I think I'm going to take this brief 10 to 15 year period au naturel. I think I'll just glide through without any of the drugs. I think I'm going to swerve it. I'm going to swerve that HRT and just go natural. I've never seen a look of panic on my girlfriend's face. She said, "Oh, I think that's Jen. I think that's absolutely a terrible idea. I think you should take the drugs. I think you should take all the drugs, any drugs available, all the drugs that you can get your hands off. Basically, any drugs, even if it's got nothing to do with the menopause. I want you to take those drugs. I don't really care how you take the drugs. Just take the drugs. I don't care if it's a patch, if it's orally, if it's anally, if you have to stick it up your chuff. Just take the drugs. Take the drugs. Take the drugs. Take the fucking drugs." Beginning to see where that Ray Winston gene comes from, if I'm honest. Of course, my sons aren't going to have to worry about the menopause. Of course they're not. They're not going to have to worry about periods at all. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to tell them all about it. Oh, they're going to know. Oh, I'm going to let them know. Come on, boys! Grab a hot water bottle, make yourselves uncomfortable, okay? Because it's time to hear about Mama's flow. Oh, Mama, please, not again. It's every month. Please, Mama, no, not crack-a-nori again. Yes, darling, it's time for crack-a-nori. Because when Mama's got a heavy flow, she's got to let you know. I never think that crack-a-nori joke gets enough, really. Crack-a-nori, jack-a-nori. Do you know what I blame it on? I blame it on too many young people. Too many of the young people, you don't even know about Jack and Ori, because you... Listen, by the way, when I was a kid in the 80s, we didn't have whatever you had, Nickelodeon and bloody CBeebies and, I don't know, Netflix. That didn't exist when I was growing up. I tell you what we had. We had Jack and Ori, which was a story that was read from Monday through to Friday. That was it! Yeah? If you were lucky, it was read by Floella Benjamin. And if you were unlucky, it was some kind of paedophile, okay? And that was normal, and we accepted it. Having sons has really changed my life, it's changed my perspective, and obviously as a leader, I'll be honest with you, you fellas haven't really featured very high on my list of interests. It's nothing personal. I don't want you to feel like it's anything personal. It's just, sadly, I am man blind. Yes, it's an actual, real, legitimate condition. So unfortunately, I can't see you people. I mean, obviously, I can hear you. So I know how to avoid you. If you can't see me, well, it's when bloody when. No, but seriously, genuinely, my sons have changed my life, and it's made me think about the world differently. Here's something I've started to think about differently. I think we can all agree that we live in a patriarchal society, and I think we can also agree that that is toxic for women. And I believe that it's also toxic for men. Okay? And here's why. Because if we live in a society where we are telling men and women that women aren't equal, what we're actually doing is we're telling men and women that women are worth less. We are telling men and women that women are worth less. Women are worthless. And if that's what we're telling women and men, then what we're actually saying to them is that any attributes that you would associate with being a woman, expressing your emotions, having feelings, maybe even having a cry, well, we say to them, you don't want to do that, fellas.
You don't want to do that, because that's what birds do. Hey, you don't want to be like a bird.
What do we tell men when we want them to let off steam?
Get a boxing ring, mate. Hey, kick the shit out of each other.
Fellas, no. You do not have to do that. Switch on the telly, watch 5 hours of Queer Eye, have a cry. Yeah? Post Me Too. There's so many sound bites have come up, like words like that, cult of masculinity and toxic masculinity. As if we, as a society, are not complicit in creating that, because we are. Because if we're not allowing men the valve to emote, to express their feelings, and we're backing them into a corner, then we can't be surprised when they come out punching and screaming, okay? And listen, any mother of sons will tell you this, but no, men aren't born that way. You know, I've got 2 boys, they're 4 years of age, and let me tell you, they are full-time emoters. Yeah, they don't mind telling me how they feel every second of every day.
Mama, you gave me a yellow bowl and I wanted a blue bowl. Mama, there is some dirt on my knee.
Do something!
Mama, please hold my hand.
you? Because until we start telling children, children from a young age, that they should be able to cry, that they should be able to emote, that they should be able to express themselves, that feelings and emotions aren't gendered. They're not male or female feelings or emotions, they're just human. If we don't do that, then we're not going to see a reduction of violence perpetrated against women, and we're not going to see a reduction in suicide in men. You know, we keep getting told that we live in an equal society. We do not. We do not live in an equal society. And as women, we are constantly being distracted by shit that doesn't matter. What was the last thing we were told to care about? What was it, the thigh gap? The thigh gap, ladies. Oh my God, the thigh gap. Because you know what happens if your thighs are up together? Nothing! Nothing happens because it doesn't fucking matter! Honestly, if like me you've been in a relationship for longer than 10 years, you're delighted if anything's rubbing down there! Okay, yeah. Sometimes it feels like society has been telling women that we should just be grateful.
Now you got the vote! We can't touch your tits in public no more! What the fuck are you moaning about?
I tell you what I'm moaning about. I'm moaning about my piece of the pie. Because I don't want 5%, I don't want 10%, I don't even want 25% of the pie. I want 50%. Why? Because I've earned it. And I'm not a token or a one-off or an anomaly, I'm a woman. And women make up 51% of the population. That's right, fellas. There's more of us than you. So hand over my piece of the pie. You know that bit that you've got at the moment with the extra crust that you didn't earn? Yeah, it's called the penis bonus. And I can't believe I'm saying this as a lesbian, but I want that pristine portion of privileged penis premium, and I want to be chowing down on your piece of pie. Sorry, not your piece of pie, my piece of pie, because it's not yours. It never was yours. It's always been mine, and you're not handing over a piece of your pie. You're just handing back my piece of pie that you took from me. So give me my fucking pie back! I want to give you all a hug. Can I give you all a hug later? And I've got mates of mine, they're like, oh, come on, Jen, wind your neck in. Hey, wind your neck. Things aren't that bad. Things are okay. Stop banging that bloody feminist drum of yours. And I always think to myself, why would you want things just to be okay? Why would you just want things to be okay? Why wouldn't you want things to be equal? Why, as a woman, wouldn't you be striving for equality every day of your life? And why, as men, would you be happy for women for it not to be equal? Why wouldn't you, as men, want to strive for equality as well? You know? And the fact of the matter is, for the women in the room here, I'm going to say this to you: if you think you've got rights, you haven't got rights. You've got privileges. And they can be taken away from you. I mean, look at the government that we've got. Flippin' heck. Boris Johnson, Michael Gove, and that flesh-coloured windsock Jacob Rees-Mogg. Do you genuinely think that these men are concerned with women's rights? Of course they're not. I mean, honestly, take a look at Jacob Rees-Mogg. That man has 6 children. How? I mean, genuinely, how? It can't have been naturally. It must have been through a hole in a sheet, surely. 5 boys he's got. 5 boys, 1 girl. Oh, I think about her. I think, what kind of future has that girl got? I worry about her. I do. Because you know right now, she's probably trapped in an attic somewhere, playing the harpsichord whilst, embroidering the crest of Slytherin onto all of her brother's blazers. I know people got the ache about the Me Too movement, didn't they? Shortly afterwards, they're like, it's gone too far! It's gone too far! It's a bloody witch hunt! I'm always amazed when people think that the Me Too movement went too far. I mean, where has it gone? I mean, have we seen a reduction in violence against women, a reduction in sexual assault? Have we seen a reduction in violence against, people of colour or Muslim people or trans people? No! I don't think it's gone far enough. I think we should take it off the internet and put it on the street. And I know it can make people feel uncomfortable, like particularly men. I imagine, straight after it happened, there were a lot of men in the room here tonight where you probably thought, you had to look back, didn't you? You had to examine your own behaviour. You had to think, oh my God. Maybe some of you in the room were thinking, oh my God, I hope I wasn't one of those fellas. I hope I wasn't one of those blokes. And to you, I would say, listen, don't worry about it. I genuinely think it probably wasn't you. And there might be other men in the room here going, yeah, those blokes, they were the worst. It's you, you prick. You're the problem. It's definitely you. And I would say to the men in the room here, if you don't take anything from this show, I would just ask you to take this and just understand that you are having a different experience from women. Okay? And what that is called empathy, when you put yourself in another person's shoes. Empathy. Try it. You might like it. And I'd also say that to the women in the room here tonight, particularly the white, able-bodied, cisgender, heterosexual women. I would say that to you, that you're not having the same experience as a disabled woman, or a gay woman, or a trans woman, or a Muslim woman. But if we apply empathy, each and every one of us, then we can make the corner of the planet, wherever we are, slightly more bearable to live in. Even as a comedian, I'm not having the same experience as men. As a female comedian. There's stuff that people will say to me that they would never dream of saying to a bloke. Often it's said by other women, by the way. Every woman that does stand-up comedy will have had this said to her at some point, usually by another woman. Just to say, I really enjoyed your set. I thought it was absolutely wonderful. You really made me laugh because I don't usually find women funny. First of all, I'm just like, I don't even get the concept of coming up to a stand-up comedian and saying that. I'm like, what the hell is your problem? And plus, I just don't even understand what you're talking about. What, you mean a woman has never made you laugh? What, no women ever? Not any women in your life? Not your sister, your mate, your teacher, a friend of a friend, a woman on the television, your nan, your auntie, your mum? What, no women have ever made you laugh? You've only laughed after a man has spoken? What, you think the prerequisite to tell a joke is a cock and balls? Do you think my vagina is a vacuum where jokes go to die? Oh, I did have a punchline, but sadly my perimenopausal vagina swallowed it up. Oh, women, what we're like! I also think that women are told, we're censored, we're told what we can and can't say, and very often we listen to people. I know I did in my 20s as a stand-up comedian. I was told very early on that there were certain subjects that women weren't allowed to discuss because they were considered hack, and periods was one of them. And of course, being in my 20s, you listen to everyone in your 20s because you want to fit in. And I thought to myself, well, I don't want to be a hack, I want to be considered cutting edge. I'm a cutting-edge comedian, so I shall never mention my periods, and I definitely don't want to take up any space in the world because I'm only in my 20s. Well, I'm in my 40s now. And I'm going to talk about my period. Well, I've still bloody well got one. Is it a hack subject, I wonder? I wonder how hack a subject it would be if men bled out of their dicks every single month. I wonder how much stand-up comedy would be about periods if men had to stick a tampon up their arse once a month. Because the fuss you fellas make with one cotton bud down your knob, wind your neck in. You try squeezing a human being out of a hole the size of a 10-pence piece, yeah? I bet none of you have ever had a cervical smear done by a trainee nurse who's forgotten her contact lenses. Do you know what side it is? I think it's moved. I don't know! I tell you what, you can bet your bottom dollar that if men had periods, sanitary products would be free. Yeah, not only would they be free, they'd be available everywhere. Wouldn't you be able to get them in? You'd be able to get them at the bar upstairs, wouldn't you? Of course you would. You'd be like, hello mate, I'll have a pint please and some of those sanitary bum pads. Actually, hold up fella, because I'm playing squash later and I don't want any rubbish, so you better get me some of those up the bummers. Of course they would. Not free for us. Not only are they not free for us, we've got to pay VAT on top. Why? Because we've been told that they're a luxury item. Does it feel like a luxury? Does it? Does it feel like a luxury? Because I don't know about you, but I didn't realise bleeding into my knickers was the equivalent of a spa weekend! We don't talk about it. We don't talk about it. Just to say to the men in the room here, it's every month. It's a monthly thing. Yeah? We bleed every month, but we don't talk about it with you because we don't want to upset our special boys. We don't want to upset our special boys because we know that you don't like to hear about that bloody blood. We know that you don't like to hear about that bloody blood because it make you feel sad inside and make you feel all queasy to know that bloody blood's coming out of that chuff. Well, just to say, just to the men in the room here, I want you to take a moment just to have a little look at the women that you're surrounded by. Lots of very beautiful women in the room here tonight. Take a moment and have a little look at them. You're surrounded by women, not just the women you came with, but all the women around. Yeah, just take a moment to have a little look. Have a little look at them, that's it. Have a little look, have a little... Do it! Have a little look. You're surrounded by them, aren't you? Surrounded by women. Well, let me tell you, they are bleeding all over the place. Bleeding. You don't know. We haven't told you. It's not your fault, okay? How can it be your fault? Not your fault. So I'm going to make an appeal to the women in the room here tonight, right? The next time you're on the blob, and your boyfriend or your partner, your husband or your friend or your brother or your colleague, he asks you how you are. Don't do what you normally do and say, I'm fine. I'm fine. Don't do that. Tell him. Tell him. Tell him. I'm bloated, mate. I've got horrific period pains. I can feel them right round my back and down the front of my thighs. I feel so moody that whilst you were talking earlier, I was actually fantasising about punching you in the face and or having a cry while slamming a fruit and nut bar in my gob. I also feel a lot hornier than usual, while simultaneously disgusted with my body, for no other reason other than the fact that I've been told having a period is disgusting by everyone, including companies trying to sell me sanitary products who'd have me believe that having blue liquid pouring out of my vag is preferable to actual human blood. Anyway, how are you? We live in a time of austerity. And for many of us, that won't impact on our lives at all, but for others, they are really struggling. And we are inheriting lots of wonderful new things from the Conservative government. Here's one. It's period poverty. This is a new thing I'm pretty sure didn't exist even 10 years ago, which is basically women who are unable to afford sanitary products, who are having to pick between, buying food or paying their bills and, having sanitary wear, which I think is an absolute disgrace, okay? I think sanitary products should be free to any woman who can't afford them, and they should be easy to access. End of, yeah? And do you know what the upside of that would be? The upside would be that the rest of us women wouldn't have to put up with those patronising adverts we've had to put up with for years, where those women are permanently roller skating. What the fuck is wrong with these women? Sarah, I've got my period, you better get those skates out! I always love the way, the choice of clothing is fascinating to me. I don't know about you, but when I've got my period, I get my joggers on. Not these lot. White hot pants, yes please. How confident are you? I'd love to see an advert that really reflected a woman's experience during her period. I'd love to see that. I'd love to write my own advert for sanitary products. And if any of you work in advertising, please, this is free. Take it. No, I'm giving this to you freely, okay? Here's my advert. There'd just be a woman walking down the street on her own, just minding her own business. But she's got a real face in her. Suddenly, out of nowhere, this bloke tries to mug her, yeah? And the next 2.5 minutes is just this woman beating this bloke over the head with her handbag. And the tagline would read, "You don't mess with June when she's on the rag." Oh, perform! I feel optimistic, though. My children have given me that. I realise there's been no sign of that in the show so far. But children do. They make you feel optimistic because, because they have to, because they are your future. And listen, I'm not going to make out for 1 second that my girlfriend and I are brilliant parents. I'm sure we're getting it wrong. But what we're trying to do is make our children better than we are. And even if we can make them 5% better than we are, and maybe when they have children, they can make their children 5% better than they are. I think that's how we build a better society, And on the whole, as lesbian parents, I think on the whole, most people accept us. It's obviously here in London, obviously there's no problem for me to say to you, in Soho, I am a lesbian and I have children, and for you to turn back at me and go, carry on, lesbian. Carry on, bring up your 2 little boys as 2 little lesbians. Which we are. We've got Katie Lang and Luke back home, and we've knitted them some itchy waistcoats, so... They can only eat couscous. But there are other parts of the country, I'll be honest with you, when you travel around with this job, you notice it a lot more, but there are other parts of the country that aren't quite as accepting of our family. I mean, it doesn't matter where. I mean, it's a regional thing, isn't it? We're not going to go into the actual detail of the geography of exactly where we're talking about, but there are places... Kent, OK? It's Kent. They seem angry. They seem angry. Yeah, they seem very...
What the fuck's going on here? Hey! What the fuck's going on here? Tell me, which one of you is the dad? I'm confused. Which one of you is the daddy?
Neither of us. There's only there's 2 mums. That's how this is working.
Oh, fuck's sake, the state of this country. All right, well, hey, which one of you is going to teach them to kick a ball about? Hey, which one of you is going to teach them to kick a fucking ball about?
Oh my God, I really wish we'd met you before we started this process, because we hadn't considered that. We hadn't even thought about ball kicking or anything. What do you want? I don't know how to... Do you want me to try? I mean, I'll give it a whirl, I don't know. I'll see what I can do. Yeah, I think we nailed it.
Are you going to teach them to be men, eh? How the fuck are you going to teach them to be men, eh?
I'll tell you how we're going to do it. We're going to teach our boys to be kind, compassionate, empathetic, and loving men. That's what we're going to do. And if our boys want a dose of toxic masculinity, well, we might let them watch an episode of Top Gear. Mama, why have you made me watch this absolutely horrific show? These men are just dreadful. I just don't even understand this programme. I don't even understand, how did they get their own show? Oh, darling. Because of white male privilege and the patriarchy. And because for a very long time, I suppose people of colour and women thought that laughing at this sort of stuff meant that we were in on the joke, rather than the butt of the joke. But now we know they are a triptych of cunts. So we don't laugh anymore. No one does. Oh, Mama, where are they now? I don't know, darling. Probably the House of Lords. Ladies and gentlemen, I originally wrote this show for the Edinburgh Festival, and as you know, you may not know, the Edinburgh Festival is really just self-conscious and just pretentious and it's just bullshit, really. So you've got to make up some ending that's supposed to have some sort of meaning, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I've called the show Meaningless, so I'm not going to give you that. But what I will say to you is this, that I love my children more than I've loved anyone or anything in my life. Blah, blah, blah. They have given my life more meaning. Blah, blah, blah. And I do love my mother, of course I do. And if I can be half the mum that she was to me, I know I will have made a success of my life. Blah, blah, blah. But she's not my best friend. She is my mother. And so she needs to get out of my fucking